Sorry, I'm running late. I am here though. There we go. A better view of what's going on. Alright, yeah, what the fuck am I gonna draw, man? I haven't done a penciling session in like a minute. I don't think I've ever done a live streaming penciled session. Any suggestions from the audience here about what we should draw today? Devil eating corn. That's not a bad suggestion, but I think I'm going to go with something Dresden related tonight as it stands. It's kind of more what I'm feeling, so. Concern about the penciling live stream is that you aren't going to be able to see what the fuck I'm doing. Can you guys even see that I'm drawing? Draw the big sword dude who is definitely not my project. No. I'm not doing him. I've spent way too much time drawing him this week already. That fuzzy-headed motherfucker. I definitely don't have a plot for his fucking story now, too. That's not happening. No way. God damn it, that guy. I have, like, not been so pissed off about a story project, like a project that won't go away for so long, and that one just drives me fucking nuts, because, like, I have so much going on right now, it's gross. I have, like, I'm in the middle of just finishing up Batipus. I have another comic going on right after that I need to jump into. I have, like, my normal commission list. And I've got, like, 2 music projects I'm working on, a super top secret thing, podcast, and Itchy, and the Paranet Pals, and all this shit, and then this fucking fuzzy-headed asshole with his big old sword comes swinging into my life, and now I gotta fucking draw him, and it drives me crazy. I don't know how well you guys can see this with the red pencil here. A lot of artists use non-photo blue for their penciling, which is a smarter thing to do. I got... Dude, that fucking character, like, I now understand a little bit, I think, what authors go through with their characters, because this little shit with his stupid fuzzy head and his stupid face scars and his fucking David Rose outfit... Like, I can't, like, every time I sit down to draw, that's the first thing that comes out. That's why, like, right now, I'm specifically drawing Dresden, because I know I can draw him without him turning into, like, I've tried to draw other shit, and it turns into that dude. Like, oh my god, it's annoying. But anyway, we'll do some Dresden-y stuff today, I think, just because, why not? So I'm gonna try and get this red penciling kind of. This is anyway. Yeah, I was saying I got into red pencils from tattooing. There's no like reason other than the people that I was working with all kind of used red pencils. So I started using them too, and kind of got used to them a little bit more than the non-photo blue. I still use non-photo blue when I like print off digital pencils, but so we'll just kind of get some general shapes here, contours and whatnot, and then I'll go in and start doing my regular penciling, which I think you guys will be able to see a little bit better. I'm probably, whatever piece this is, it's unlikely that I'm going to ink on this sheet of paper. If anything, if I decide this is a piece I want to do full ink and color, I'll probably wind up scanning the pencils and then printing them off blue line and doing it that way. Just because it's a little bit easier for me to keep things clean, and I'm trying to like do this quickly so that y'all can kind of see the process, which in and of itself is kind of an oxymoron, because it's like I'm trying to rush the process so that you guys can see what it's like for me to pencil within an hour. So, but we're gonna do Harry with his blasting rod, shooting off some big, spelly stuff. I hate that. The hand is all fuckered, so. Hey Jody, how you doing? Everybody is here. Y'all hanging out. How's it going, everybody? Maybe, you know what, maybe fuck the blasting rod. Maybe it'd be more fun to just do like a shield bracelet thing. That's always a fun one. That hand's a little bit easier to draw. I'm not really in the mood for a fucking blasting rod shit. There's too many points. Just do like a big dynamic shield type thing. Yeah, why not? That sounds like fun. We'll do that. Good idea, Adam. Thanks, Adam. Foreshortening's a little shitty here. We need to bring this further over and back and up for that foreshortening to work. Yeah, that's starting to make sense. I won't forget the shield bracelet. You're a dynamic shield. What's up, Borg? I think the force rings are actually on his... I want to say they're on his right hand. What's going on, Oswaldo? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Alright, so t-shirts, hole in the jeans. That back. I always forget that Harry wears like cowboy boots canonically in a lot of shit, which is just really silly to me, and I never draw cowboy boots, so I was just kind of fake it. I put him in tennis shoes and like sneakers a lot because I think that makes more sense, but pre or post burned ham? What do you guys think? Pre or post burned ham? I'll let you guys decide. I don't really care. Oof, I don't like that foot at all. Now that I'm looking at it, I gotta bring that leg back and under. Jesus Christ. Pre-burned hand. Okay, yeah, we haven't done a pre-burned hand in a long time, so. Got some of these shields popping out. That's all fun. Alright, so then we need big shield, circle thing. Cool. Let's pop a border on here so we can make things pop out of it. I don't know how much I like popping shit out of borders. That's my favesies. I'm gonna cut off the bottom part of that phone. Why red when sketching? No real reason. If I was smarter, I'd probably use non-photo blue, but the tattoo shop I used to work at in Electric Dragonland, for some reason, everybody that worked there used red pencils instead of fucking blue ones, which was weird to me. It's like a tattoo thing, I guess. I guess they don't use non-photo blue because they don't have to worry about scanning. So I just got into the habit of it, and I don't actually use this a lot anymore. So, alright, we got staff poking out. We need some sort of a background for him to be in. So if he's here, I feel like dynamic background. Let's draw the horizon line maybe. Here at an angle would be fun. Bring up some building stuff. Vanishing point. I like the vanishing point right dead center between the eyes. So let's start drawing some horizontals here. Yeah, we'll do some alleyway. I like alleys. Alleys are always fun for Dresden. That looks about right. Finishing points right there. So then that one goes that way. Bring some more stuff down here. Pretty close. We having fun now, aren't we? Some random sidelines, so we can do that when we want to. Actually, I'm going to bring the other building edge a little bit more squared off. Cool, so now we got an environment. We're going to keep this parallel, dropping a chain link fence behind them because I love chain link fences, even though they're such a pain in the ass to draw. Maybe up here we'll bring over one of those things, those like fire escapes, because those are fun to draw in the city. Do that, pop up. Then we'll just kind of draw some generic background buildings here, get those in. That big old moon in the background here, that's always fun. Okay. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what I did. Make sure you guys can see here. So, when you're drawing a background, you want a dynamic perspective. The easy way to do it is just the one-point perspective. So, this line right here is the horizon line. Actually, the horizon line is back here now. But either way, that's where the alleyway ends, so it's not really the horizon line. This is the vanishing point. This is where all your angles are going to go towards. And so when you compose an image like this, the eye is immediately going to be drawn to the face because that's what everything points at. So, what's in my mouth? Sometimes it's a pencil, sometimes it's a cigarette, sometimes, like right now, it's a cup of coffee. Because it's been a very long day, and I kind of forgot it was Wednesday, so I was woefully unprepared for this. So, as we can tell by how quickly I'm doing it. Now, it wouldn't be a drawing of Dresden by Adam Swart unless Harry has a nice big bandage on his forehead. Maybe one over here too. So, okay, so now we've got our basic composition in red. Pretty simple. So now we're going to go out and start hashing out. This is just a regular ass mechanical pencil from fucking, I don't know, Target or some shit. I don't even remember where I got this one. Start kind of lightly blocking out the contours of Harry. Actually, now that I'm seeing this, I think I want to do like a big trash can getting knocked over. Where is that most effective? I think over here. Is that the right perspective? Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that right there. We'll bring some steps down here for a doorway right here. Okay. I don't know what this is. I think it's a 0.7. I honestly, like, I don't really have a preference between a 0.5 and a 0.7 for penciling most of the time. I go to Target, I find whatever pencil pack I can get the most pencils in for the cheapest, and that's the one I buy. I used to spend a lot of money on fancy nib holders or like lead holders where like I'd spend 14 or 15 bucks just on the mechanical pencil itself. And then I'd spend all kinds of money buying like the non-photo blue lead for it and shit, and then eventually I just gave up because it didn't matter. Because at the end of the day, like, some of that stuff is helpful, but I'm going to bring his coat outside of the border too, because that's kind of fun. Is it? Yeah, I like that. Okay. I tend to draw Harry's coat a little bit like Batman's cape. Like, it does a lot of impossible things that normal dusters wouldn't be able to do. So, alright, so bring that down and around for the lapel. Bring the other one kind of up and out. Like so. Put the edges on there. I'm going to save his face just because I have a feeling this is going to get a little smudgy as we go. And he's in motion, so the pentacle necklace should probably be a little bit akimbo. Kind of look like it's moving up and around, so we'll kind of lightly sketch that in. We can add the 3 dimensions to that a little later, but it's a pretty easy thing to draw real quick. Alright, let's get this rocking. This big hand up here. I don't really know how I'm going to do the shield effect quite yet, so I'm not going to worry about it for the time being. Something that'll probably be done in negative space or in the color ink possibly as well. Yeah, so that's what's happening right now. Drawing some hairy hands, non-burned for a change. No fancy glove. Oof, rough hand, Adam. Well, that's a quick piece. I'm not gonna be too hard on myself, considering I put pretty much 0 thought into this composition. It's fine. Alright, so now shields. I have a wonderful shield bracelet that was made for me by the Tripp family. I'm actually going to be doing a big post about all the hairy stuff they've made for me that I use for photo reference, because I do use it a lot. If I was really smart and prepared for tonight, I probably would have made some photo reference to use, but oh well. That's wrong. There we go. It's fine, but it's wrong. So, I don't actually like that either. It'll do. Actually, I need to bring that forward a little bit more. There we go. There's the missing angle. Sometimes you just push the shit around long enough, it'll work out. Alright, that seems pretty good to me. Foreshortening is a skill set that is a pain in the ass, and I don't like it. I don't do a tremendous amount of foreshortening. I just feel like it gets so played out in so many comics. This is a super traditional comic book pose, which I'm pretty much only doing because we're streaming and I think people respond to it. But foreshortening with somebody that's wearing a big, giant, baggy coat is especially tricky. There are things you can do to mitigate that. The fact that his duster has that weird little capelet. Oh, right on. Thanks, Ken. I draw his shield bracelet pretty frequently. It's just, not always super visible and certainly not the focal point. So I don't like, this needs to get a little thinner. So I'm just going to bring that down a little bit. Pop where the shoulder would be. Pop that, bring that up. And then I think that needs to be a little bit more. There we go. That I like. That ain't bad. Oh, it's fine, man. I tend to over detail a lot of my Dresden Files stuff so that hopefully people get too caught up in the details to notice the things that I forget, because I do always forget shit. People just don't. I'm just kidding. People always notice the shit I forget. That's not. You Dresden fans are not ones to let details go, which is why I put so much fucking time into that stuff. So. Okay, what do I want to do next here? We'll do this hand. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Is that on screen still? Okay, cool. I think arguably this hand could be bigger for how much forward it's coming. But I'm not going to stress it right now. I can always go back and change it. It's just fucking pencil. You can erase it. Alright, so it's starting to look a little bit like Harry. Drawing way too hard, as I can tell, because I just fucking broke my lead. There it goes again. Fuck's sake, Adam, settle down. Drawing ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are digging it, man. I'm going to be honest, I was a little nervous when I realized that I had committed to doing a penciling stream tonight. Because people rarely see me penciling, and it's kind of become like a really sloppy process to me. So the idea of doing it in a fashion where like people are going to be able to see it made me a little nervous, but. Alright, so boots. Alright, so we basically got the outline of Harry here. There are some things that I'm not stoked about, but overall it's fine. If we follow that line down, it would probably end about right here, so we're going to go ahead and bring the other side of the coat up, back like that, which means that we need to, I think, level that off right about there, which means I hate those lines now. Actually, what I hate is this line. That's just fine, but you want to make sure these kind of connect, so we'll bring that down like that. Is that? Do I like that? I hate that too. Fuck, I hate everything. I hate everything. Alright. So if we're going to bring that down there, then we can bring that up and around. Okay, that I'm okay with. That's fine. And then I think I want this in that area. Okay, cool. Cool. That'll do. Time for a little hairy face. Two keys to the Matheson Sword interpretation of Harry Dresden. Bandages on the face, stubble on the chin. Always gotta have my disheveled Harry, man. That's my Harry. That's the one that I'm rooting for. I'm glad you guys are digging it, man. I guess it's, I don't know, to me this is kind of like the boring part, honestly. Like I look forward to like getting into ink and making it a little bit more of a developed piece. But if you guys like seeing pencil, and that's fine by me. I gotta do that shit too, so. Parting the hair is always a good place to start with the hair. Much like another little wizard named Harry. I like Harry with like pretty fucking crazy messy hair. I think it's funnier. Probably also bring the neckline down a little bit on this. Yeah, that's better. I started at 8:30-ish. Thereabouts. Right? I mean, that's when I started streaming. It took me kind of a minute to get all my shit together and figure out what I was going to draw, but a simple way to like space out faces that I pretty much constantly use is a straight line here from the inside of the eye down to where the nostrils are. Now his nostrils are flared a little bit in this picture, so you can cheat it a little, but yeah, not much. So, alright, so that's pretty much, I mean, Harry, real quick. Probably give him, I like giving him the Spider-Man shirt. I think it's funny. I don't know why, I can't, you know. I'm a one-trick pony in a lot of ways, so. I just think it's so funny that, like, you know, him and Spidey have so much in common, so we'll just kind of echo that in right now. I'll fucking get back to that later. Alright, so what do you guys want to see next? Do you want to see me start penciling in the background, or do you want to see me start shading out Harry? Your call. First one to respond is going to get to decide, so somebody just type out background or shading, and that's what we're doing. Alright, well, if I was smart, I would do the background first, because I'm going to smudge the shading, but somebody said shading first, so that's what we're doing. Thank you. Oh, sorry, back the line. Caleb Prince beat you to it. Alright, so, where's the light source going to be? Probably from the shield, honestly. There'd be a little bit of backlight from the moon up there whenever lights are behind him. But the shield is going to create a lot of the shadow, which is kind of shitty. I don't like that. So whatever. I'm just going to shade it out how I feel like shading it out. And I'll deal with the repercussions later. This is where like the kind of cheaper LEDs I think are really nice. Because they get really smooth really quick, and they'll... Like, so I'm sure you can't focus on this, but with mechanical pencil lead especially, you can create a pretty vast flat edge for shading, which will also consistently sharpen a tip if you want to go in and actually do some like serious crotch hatching. By just maintaining the pencil at a consistent angle, eventually it'll just give you the fucking biggest, broadest motherfucker, so... how do I deal with the asymmetry-symmetry bit about human faces? Well, as a tattoo artist, you know, I can tell you with certainty that nobody is really perfectly symmetrical. But if you draw somebody too asymmetrical, it'll look wrong to people too. So I think you just kind of aim for symmetry. A lot of artists will like flip their paper back and forth and like hold it up to a light to see if it's correct when you flip it. I don't bother with that too much because A, people aren't going to see the image from behind anyway, and B, like, if it's too symmetrical, it'll throw people off. It throws me off when I see faces that are too symmetrical, in illustration at least, and my preference is always the one I defer to because I'm the fucking one drawing the shit, so if I don't like it, then what's the fucking point? So I guess I don't stress too much about it. I think the best way to deal with it, quote unquote, is just to spend a lot of time drawing human faces and then kind of draw from your experience with that. Like Harry's face here is fairly symmetrical, but like this cheekbone is slightly higher than this one. This eye is actually just a tad higher up than this one. But overall, you're not focusing on that because like the eyes are straight ahead. So controlling the perspective and like learning to lead your reader's eye at the things you want them to look at is one way to kind of deal with that, I guess. So I get these big, nice, broad strokes where I can do these really uniform shading fills because of creating this nice flat edge on the mechanical pencil's lead. Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. I guess like the easiest way to explain that is like, okay, strip away everything that's on the face so that you've just got a skull, right? If you see a skull that looks perfectly symmetrical, you know that shit is fake. Because when you get down to the bone of people, they are not fucking symmetrical. Life happens and it hurts and it leaves marks. So like, just play around till you're happy. There's a lot of art teachers that are going to tell you there's right and wrong ways to do shit. And on a very technical level, they can be right, but the truth of the matter is if you're happy with the image and people are responding to the image in a positive way, even if it's not the way you had hoped, it's a good image, man. People like what they like, and our teachers are fucking annoying anyway. I think in my entire career, educational career with art teachers, most of them I think had good intentions, but you know, you have to look at what an art teacher's agenda is. Are they trying to prepare you for a career in the arts? Well, if so, then they're going to teach you very specific things. Are they trying to teach you how to become a very refined technical artist? Again, totally different skill set. If they're encouraging you to become the best artist you can be, then what they're going to focus on is like the things that are going to allow you to express yourself more concisely. So, okay, I'm shading this in with pencil now. If you go over it in ink later, will you then marker over the shaded pencil bits? No. And here's why. Because I'm not, if I ink this, I won't be inking this sheet of paper. The red line is too annoying to try and get rid of, so what I'll probably do is finish the pencils on this to a nice reformed level, and then I'll scan it in and turn the pencils non-photo blue and then reprint out the non-photo blue on a separate sheet of Bristol so that when I ink, it's super clean. It's a habit I've gotten into with a lot of penciling and inking just because, like, A, it creates two originals. You have the original pencils and the original inks, which, as an artist, having more originals to offer for sale is always a good idea because, after all, this is my job. So, you know, it's the same amount of work, really, if you minus the 2 minutes it takes to scan and print it, and then it's so the same amount of work, but you wind up with twice the product. Somebody who really loves the pencils can take the pencils home. Somebody who wants the final inks can take that home. And, I mean, this sounds horribly financial, but that's a very important part about being, like, a commercial artist like this. The more times you can make money off of a single image, the better off you are, you know? So that's a way to do that, like, you leave the pencils intact so that people can see how you pencil, and then you get a nice inked finish. But in the past, before I started doing that, before I had access to a large format printer, I would be penciling much, much lighter and much tighter. This is a fairly sloppy penciled piece in a lot of ways. So that's what I would do in the past. I would pencil really lightly, and then I would ink, and then once the inking was dry, and once the inking's dry, you go back and you erase the pencils typically so that you have a nice clean inked image for people, or for like scanning and then sending to a colorist if you're working with a colorist. So For sure. Like, I'm not embarrassed by the fact that this is how I make my living. I'm very proud of it. It's taken me a lot of fucking work and a lot of fucking years. So, and one of the things that always really frustrated me about art school and about a lot of talking to artists in general is that people seem so ashamed to want to make money with their art. But, like, the more money I make from art, the more art I get to make. And that's the ultimate goal, is to just sit at home and draw all day, pretty much whatever I want to. And to do that, I have to, you know, fucking landlords and utility companies, they consistently want money, those rat bastards. So, you know, you got to do something to keep the wolves from the door. But sorry, Killer Prince, when you're bored, do you find yourself doodling? What is your go-to doodle image? It's an excellent question, Killer Prince, and I wish I had an answer for you that, like, I guess, you know, the fuzzy-headed asshole that I've been drawing lately is the closest I could say to, like, a doodle. I don't doodle a lot, you know. With my shoulder the way it is, in any given day, you know, I really only have, like, 6 to 8 hours of drawing time before I start to risk injuring my shoulder again. So I kind of have to mitigate a lot of what I spend time drawing because I have a fair amount of commission work and whatnot, and projects that I need to keep up on. So I don't get a lot of time to doodle. I'd say about 90-ish% of the time I spend drawing, I'm drawing for a specific project. I miss doodling, for sure. The fuzzy-headed idiot, as much as he's definitely not a new project, it's nice to just draw something for the sake of drawing it, because, you know, everything's like, oh, I gotta get more content on my Patreon, and oh, I gotta fucking do this and that, and it's always just something, you know, and I'm always behind on so many projects. Doodling is so important, and I do so little of it. It's kind of shameful. So, I guess when I do doodle, though, it usually is a little bit more cartoony stuff, since so much of what I draw when I'm getting, like, on a project has to be much more representational. And those usually turn into, like, pet projects that I'll never finish. Like, right now I'm putting together a pitch for a cartoon, and, like, I'm not gonna make a fucking cartoon, but it's fun to, like, daydream and put the project together and do the scenic paintings and all that other shit. So I'm alright with that. Okay with that. I don't like his eyes terribly right now. I think that I'd probably change him out a little bit. The pupils are just a little messy. I could have been more deliberate with that and probably done a better job. This eraser is really shitty too, so I'm going to have to, like, reconstruct here. But that's okay. That's a little bit better. A little bit better. Ugh, I still don't like them, but I'll deal with it. I like to make sound effects a lot when I draw too. It makes drawing more fun. So. Yeah, it's a little bit of an unhinged younger Harry. Usually, you know, the Harrys I draw are kind of aloof. I haven't drawn a lot of, like, Harry in battle pieces. I drew the piece of him versus Ortega and, like, him on Sue. He was pretty wild looking in that one. There's the big Chichen Itza piece I did where he's, like, full on battling. There's a, like, crossover piece I did with Hellboy, which kind of reminds me of this one, but that was a fun piece too. While I'm daydreaming of doing a Hellboy Dresden Files crossover. The two things that are literally never gonna happen, but that's okay. Yes, pew pew lasers, fuck yeah. Exactly. So we're gonna kind of cheat some of the foreshortening here, because this isn't actually proper foreshortening. We're just gonna cheat it by shading out the parts we don't like. Wally Wood, rest his soul, man. He gave amazing advice as an artist, things that I think about every day when I'm drawing. one of his witticisms, it may be anachronistically like tied to him. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the legitimate quote attributed to him, but the old idiom is when in doubt, black it out. You can hide all manner of compositional error by just adding more black to an image, and in the long run, usually adding black to an image just makes it look more dynamic. So even though I'm not like super stoked on the foreshortening of this arm here, it's close enough where I don't really feel the need to adjust it, considering this is just a for fun streaming piece. If this was like a piece for publication, I might take some more time on it. I might not, though, honestly, too, because sometimes the drawing is more about the emotion and the composition, and if everything's not fucking picture perfect, it's not the fucking end of the world. It's just a goddamn drawing. Like, I'm drawing, you know, the Wizard of Chicago, so it's not like if people want to tell me that it's wrong, they're more than welcome to, and believe me, motherfuckers will. So, even though the light source would probably illuminate a little bit of the inside of his coat, we'll cheat that a little. There, foreshortened hand. Ha 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 ha. Take that, perspective lessons. The last art teacher that like I really vibed with, like I liked my teachers at the arts high school that I went to. They were fine, but like we were just on way different fucking pages with shit. But my grade school art teacher, Mr. Hansen, man, he was the shit. I loved him. Because he was just, you know, he saw that I liked to draw. So he did everything he could to make drawing more enjoyable and more successful for me. And, you know, when you're making shit up, sometimes part of the fun is what you can get away with. Whether or not it's correct is just about, you know, beating the system and doing what feels right. So it's a little bit what we're doing here tonight. Fucking gaming the system. Alright, so staff in the background. Kind of vaguely shadow most of that out. Throwing a couple of the symbols that I like to put on it. I'm so excited. You guys are actually the first people to hear this, the 8 of you that are listening, but in Andy Tripp, I commissioned him to legitimately make me a fucking Dresden staff that utilizes the same ruins that I always draw carved into it. I'm going to be doing a big post about it on like in the Dresden group and on my Paranet Pals site and on my Patreon, but I have now a full-size replica of the Dresden staff that I draw. It is carved from a piece of oak that was struck by lightning. It has all the sigils that I use. It is fucking gorgeous, and he built it to scale so that I can take reference photos of myself as Harry for the various commissions that I draw when I want him in a specific position. It is breathtaking. I walk around my apartment with it in my bathrobe all the time. And he sent me some other prop stuff that is just, their Etsy store is fucking amazing. I would highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, I'll be making a post about that now that I've got the next few days off from the tattoo shop, so that y'all can see the fucking hotness. It's good shit. So, sorry, I'm drinking coffee. I'm fucking pounding coffee at 9:20 at night because I'm very tired. It was a very long day at the tattoo shop. I didn't sleep great last night. And I'm just trying to get through like the next 15 minutes here before I can like go and relax and chill for the rest of the night, and then get back on my regular schedule of doing shit tomorrow. One of the other advantages of Harry is that like he wears a big black fucking duster. I have very specific opinions about how dusters should be shaded, but the nice part about them is that if you want to, you can never go wrong making them real dark. Especially early in the series when he had a canvas duster. A leather duster is going to be a little bit more reflective, especially if it's treated like Harry's is. Canvas, though, doesn't reflect light quite as well. So the canvas duster would be much less reflective. Actually, one of my biggest gripes with the fucking comic series as it stands is those early books when you still got like the canvas dusters. They do like a fucking blue shading tone on it, which just isn't correct. Canvas doesn't have that. Like leather, shiny leather will have a blue tone, but canvas does not. Unless it's under a blue light source, which it never fucking is in the comics. So, okay, so what are we doing here? Coat's doing okay. I mean, it's a fucking coat. It's not really the focal point, but I did make it break the border, so I need to put a little bit of time into it. Okay, that feels good. Pop back over here to... Oh my god, fucking keyboard, get out of the fucking way. Sorry, I was also, like, juggling projects this morning. I finished that Murphy piece. And then while I was working on coloring Jody's piece, I was working on airbrushing something else. So my studio is a fucking wreck right now. But like, I've got this clean little area where I'm streaming on, but like next to me I've literally got fucking bottles of paint and ink and, you know, vice grips and a knife and pencils and it's so fucking, it's so artsy right now. Jesus Christ. Such an artist. Blah. Alright, so continue to put my ruins up here. Oh, fuck you. Break and let again because I'm working too fast. Yeah, your piece is going great. Harry and Mouse are done. The flat colors are all done on your piece. I'm literally just kind of shading and detailing the background right now, so it should be done this weekend. So I have to clean my glasses real quick. So, yeah, your piece, Jody, should be done this weekend and off into the mail. I'm hoping maybe Friday. If not Friday, probably Saturday. I gotta mail out like a bunch of remarks tomorrow. Pretty much my whole day tomorrow is gonna be doing remarks because I'm like way behind on those, and I've had some people's books for like 6 months because I'm an asshole. So tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and just remark all fucking day. Try and get like 5 or 6 of them done, and then spend the evening finishing up your piece and then mail everything out hopefully on Friday, but it might go to Saturday, depends. It's supposed to get like an ass ton of snow here tomorrow, and it's supposed to drop down and be really fucking cold, so I might not want to leave the house till Saturday. We'll see. Alright, well, we've got just a couple minutes left already. Holy shit, we're down to like 7 minutes. So I was kind of hoping to get more of this done, to be honest with you. But, you know, I'm fucking gabbing and jabber John, and I guess, you know, I'm alright with it. Spending an hour on this and getting about this far isn't horrible. I'll probably try and finish up, or maybe I'll save this. You know what? I'm going to do that. I know people like penciling, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to save this piece. Maybe not in its exact current form. I might flush things out a little bit more, but next Wednesday, again, I'll do another penciling stream, and we'll focus on the background for this piece. And then for this Saturday's stream, I'll be inking again. I think that's how I'm going to do it, is ink on Saturdays, pencil on Wednesdays, so... for everybody that's hanging out, all 9 of you, I will, if you haven't had a chance to yet, please take a moment, man, if you enjoyed tonight's stream, to check out my Patreon. It's linked on my Instagram page. You can join for as low as $1 a month, and the more of y'all that sign up, the more time I can spend drawing Dresden shit and doing streams and chatting with y'all and whatnot. So, benefits everybody, man. And for $1 a month, people throw that much fucking change away. So check that shit out and sign up if it seems interesting. I do post on there quite a bit. Killer Prince, to answer your question, yes, I do ship to Australia. As a heads up, the last 2 packages that I've shipped to Australia have both had shipping costs upwards of $100. Because I ship with UPS because I can track and insure my shit, especially if I'm sending original artwork. So if you're interested in getting something, you want me to ship it to Australia, I'm more than happy to do so. Just keep in mind that, shipping very quickly hits that $100 mark. So got to be prepared for that. But I have no problem shipping there at all. So, but I think that's where we're going to stop for this evening, because we all know how much I fucking hate getting kicked off of Instagram in mid-sentence and shit. So this is where we're at for today. Not bad for an hour. We got Harry on there. Got the background laid out, which we'll tackle next Wednesday. And if y'all have any questions about any of the techniques, tools, or anything I was talking about tonight, do not hesitate to, drop me a message on my Instagram here. I'm happy to answer any questions and, help out however I can. I will be back at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday doing an inking stream, and you guys are awesome. I love you all to pieces. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking this out. If you haven't, again, check out the Patreon. It's the best way to support. And that's that, man. I hope y'all have a lovely rest of the week, and hopefully we'll see you guys all Saturday night. All right? Bye-bye.